Welcome to this now. I'm going to go ahead and begin. So tonight it's Thursday, the 30th of October. And at 6 p.m., if you are local, we're going to be talking about this topic. But I wanted to jump on because people will ask me to film classes, and some classes specifically, when I have a group in front of me and I'm trying to film a live in front of me, it's just the channel gets wonky. We'll just say it like that. So I wanted to share before I jump into a session and get ready for tonight, 6 p.m. if you're local. The great thing about coming in locally when we do offer things is that at R3 Miracles is you're in the energy here. This is an activated space and you drop deep. A lot of people go out of body here. Which is not really heard of that much. So, okay, tonight's class is about out of body to in body. We've been doing this all month long on Thursday nights. This is the final class. I do have some newcomers coming, so I'm going to speak to you all as newcomers. If you've had an out of body experience, you might have had an out of body experience when you were a child. Put in the comments if you've ever had an out of body experience. If you're watching the replay of this, put replay. And if you've had an out-of-body experience as a child, you may have gotten nervous because you looked back at your body and you wondered if you were, alive, or maybe even as an adult, because you'll see your body. Your light body gets outside of the body. And we're dreaming every night, and a portion of your consciousness when you're dreaming is essentially out of the body. It's just when you're fully out of body, you are fully out, and you're not like witnessing things in front of you. You're not seeing yourself doing things. You are in the light body. You are the light body, and you are out. And there's a lot of really great realizations that will happen when you get out of body, is because you realize that this is truly a dream. Everything is a dream. And when you're out of body, you have all your superpowers, and you command and do anything, say anything. You can shift reality. This can also kind of couple with lucid dreaming, being awake in the dream, like where you realize you're dreaming. You're like, wait, I'm dreaming. That's essentially out of body, but the more you focus in on something when you're in a lucid state in the dream, you're going to then have more control and get the majority of your consciousness into that experience, into your light body. And things will feel more visceral, more physical than here. There'll be more colors. Things have better taste. You'll have more sensation. And so if you've never had a out-of-body experience, but yet maybe you had deja vu, or you feel like, you're dreaming the future, which you are, and you're noticing the theme of the day is just like your dream, well, you're going to start to unpack the manual of reality creation. The more you start examining and playing with the details that you remember when you wake up, and within the dream itself, that you start to awaken in the dream and command your dreams to be awake in the dream, to be body asleep, mind awake. And so out-of-body experience is very similar to a near-death experience. The realizations and the amount of remembrance that comes over you. So it's super powerful, and if you start to get good at getting out of body, you'll really decode much, and you can have an intention before you go out of body. I highly suggest that you have an intention before you go out of body. When you're laying down tonight, set an intention that I want to be mind awake, body asleep, and tell your higher self, tell your consciousness you want to indeed get out of your body. You can ask for a guide to be next to your bed to be ready to go. You can ask for a guide to come when you actually are in the dream state and out of body. You can ask for a guide immediately to show up, and they will, to help you navigate and understand where you're at and where you're going or where you want to go. So, what do I want to share about? So basic refresher of out of body is, again, your mind is awake. When you leave this incarnation, your mind is awake. Your consciousness stays with you. So you know, your body is going to sleep. Essentially, every night your body is going into what we call sleep paralysis. It's going to sleep so that you can rest the body. The body goes into repair, and you enter deep states of slowed down brain state, and you go into REM sleep cycles, and you go into a slowed down enough brain state that you actually, the body starts to heal, and you can dream and awaken in the dream. The best times, I would say, for me, when I'm going to talk about 2 ways of getting out of body, but the best way for me is when I get up to go to use the restroom around 3 or 4 a.m., that I can get easily out of body. And so I'm also going to talk about a different understanding around out of body, and that's why I call this class Out of Body to In Body. Because as you crack the code and you start to understand that this is all a dream, this is all malleable, you start to realize that what if you have already done the wake up of getting out of body, and you are actually the light body fully on right now, and you're not necessarily in the same world that you found yourself in when you were just waking up to, let's say, like the awakening of what's really going on here in reality creation, self-mastery, and you've just possibly just been confused and calling what your new reality is the same old one, when actually it's brand new. Everything's always brand new, but what if everything that's actually going on right now is you are in such a new state of existence? And so that's the in body, the light body activation, realizing that this is all light. One of the assignments we do at the center a lot is, we see everything in front of us, and we don't necessarily want to call it a pen anymore. We just want to say it's stacked up light particles, that everything is stacked up light particles, that everything is light. So coming back, basic refreshers is your body is going to go into sleep paralysis. It always does, but you stay awake. You stay conscious as you're laying there, and stay still with your intention already set up that you're going to get out of body. You're going to have a guide help you. You're going to go, maybe you want to go visit Venus. Maybe you want to go visit the halls of Mente. Maybe you want to go, whatever you want to do, you want to have your intention. Maybe you want to visit relatives who've passed on. Pretty much do anything and everything. You can visit every realm. There are different realms that you can explore and navigate and start to map out for yourself, and understand that there's much more. You want to relax the body and allow the higher self to move. Techniques that you can do are, deep breathing to relax your body. You can start relaxing your toe. You would just be in a guided meditation all the way toe to head, one body part at a time. Once you start to feel like you're sinking in the bed, or your body will start to go to sleep, and it'll feel like it's itching, or you have to do an itch, or you have to move, but you want to resist that, and just realize your body is going to sleep. Let it go to sleep. And then some of you will just levitate right outside of your body pretty easily. Some of you can sit up, and the practice you want to do tonight is practice sitting your light body out of the body. So practice sitting up, practice rolling out of your bed, practice, there's a rope technique that I've played with. You're grabbing, I've lassoed a rope around a tree outside, and imagine pulling myself up out of the physical body. You can rotate yourself out of the body. If those do not work, like I said, the easiest way is you getting up at 3 a.m., go to the restroom, maybe do something, and then lay down and start to visualize yourself doing the thing that you would do in a guided meditation, doing your intention. So if you're going to visit the halls of Mente, or going to visit your grandmother, start to visualize that happening. And be very commanding, your word is your wand. Everything we're saying is creating what is I'm saying. So when you're speaking in command, that's what will occur. So the more you have self-worth and you understand reality creation, the quicker this will occur, because you have all the right to navigate reality. You're creating all the time anyways. You may feel like when you're leaving the body that you start to feel like you're in an elevator, or that you're in a rumbling train. You may hear rumbles, shaking, tingling, vibrating. So just know that that's possibly what's going on. If you are jumping on here, can you let me know how the sound is and how the reception is? I'm kind of in the back of the center. Sometimes the internet might be spotty. If you are, I see some people on here. If you could just let me know how the sound is on the comments. Actually, let me get the comments up. Also, let me know if you have indeed gotten out of body. Okay. So, whatever you do, when you get out and you have a guide help you or you command what's going to happen, whatever you get to do, awesome. When you get up in the morning or in the middle of the night, do your best to have a dream recorder to record what you did see and unpack what you did see. What you did. The more consciousness you have in your light body, in the dream state, which essentially is out of body or lucid, the more you will remember. If you don't remember a lot when you're waking up in the morning, it's because not that much of your light got outside the body. It was still hanging out in the body. And the dream that you did have, let's say you had 15% in the dream state. So, the more you, even if you had, like remembered a banana, write it down and, ask within like meditative state, why was I dreaming a banana? You're going to typically see that you'll have the experience in the day where you'll have a banana in front of you. Someone will be talking about a banana, something. Essentially, this is all first mental. So in the mental plane, in the field at large, the quantum field, in the space itself that you are space and you are in this body. The mental thought of the banana or the vision of the banana or the experience of the banana in the dream state essentially is creating a frame by frame reality. So you will have that experience in the day. So if you start to pay attention that outside of the dome, outside of this electromagnetic experience of being in the physical body and in the physical domain, outside of it, it's a double. Everything is happening. And when you start to navigate and direct, when you start to direct what's happening outside the dome and outside of the electromagnetic experience and in the field itself, in the longitudinal wave or field, quantum field, that is you are space itself. When you start to actually super consciously work with that behind your two eyes in a meditation or just closing your eyes or even your eyes awake, and you can multitask and be able to navigate what you're programming to assist or be happening from your assistance of your thought that you're having, because remember it's all mental, or you, like I said, remember what's going on in your dream state, whether you have a small amount of memory of what happened, and you had a portion of your consciousness out, your light out, or you had your full light body on in the field. That full recall, full remembrance is creating what will then happen in the electromagnetic experience, meaning that's what you will particleize, you will collapse from a wave, from the field, from the pure space consciousness that you are, even though you're accessing your light body and you're somewhat in a form outside of the physical body. Whatever you are doing behind your two eyes or in the quantum field will particleize, will collapse into a seemingly electromagnetic experience. Everything is happening at once. Depending on where you're particleizing is where your frequency's at. And so that when you open your eyes, depending on where your frequency is at, your emotional state, etc., your feelings, is then what you will experience. So paying attention to what you do bring through in the dream state to this waking dream will give you an understanding about how you've been creating reality the whole time. And you'll be, for me, I pay such more, it's 333 right now. I pay way more attention to what I'm doing behind my two eyes as the omnipresent field existence than what is a shadow dance, frame by frame, what's happening in front of me. The frame by frame, what's happening in front of me is just showing me where I'm frequentially at and what I'm particleizing frequentially in this moment. if it's awesome, super. If it's, I had a weird moment just like, I don't know, half hour ago. And I was so like, it was such a dream, such a play watching this man kind of be a lower version of himself. And I just held space. I guess I was a little triggered. So for me, then that shows me like I was moving something. A trigger is a gift. It's showing me where I'm frequentially kind of stuck, has a stuck energy that is not easily moving and raising in frequential energy into a higher space and a higher trajectory, a higher projection, a higher phase collapse of a higher probability experience. So, so I pay more attention to what's happening on, behind the two eyes and what I can do in the field, and the reality creation abilities. So out of body work is super awesome. You begin to wake up to what's really going on, that this is just an experiment, this is just a play that's very malleable. It's very, it's fleeting, and you will, as you wake up to this, you'll start to world create, and your world, for me, my world, I'll speak to myself, my world can get really kind of, it's huge, but it seems small. There's not always a lot of people involved, because you have to, what you're focusing on in a higher frequential way, sometimes there's not a lot of other souls who are up there playing with you. At least not right in front of you sometimes. And I have to like make an invitation. So I'll dream with people in the night before, whether I do it like super consciously and like call them up and say, hey, here you are. Let's meet up tomorrow at the center. We're going to do this topic out of body. Or maybe I will 50% of my consciousness be outside the body, and I'm watching myself have the class or have the experience. And I'll wake up in the morning and I'll be like, oh, like 6 people were with me last night. I'll probably see them at the center today, and then I do, because then we've already been together in the field, and so we're obviously going to show up in the frame by frame experience, and the electromagnetic experience. So when you get out of body, there's no more electromagnetics. Like, you're out. If you look at your body and you get fearful, like, oh my God, there's my body, you're going to vacuum right back into the body, into the electromagnetics will pull you right back. So this is why I love the Therify, and I love meditating, and I love being omnipresent. I love being space, because there's not a lot of like, it's just so bliss. It's the definition of bliss is like the longitudinal field, space itself. Okay. Let me think if I want to share anything else. You can do like a guided meditation. Like I said, when you're laying there, you're already dreaming. You're already lucid. You're awake to the dream, right? You're already like the light body. Like, you claiming this and not like you have to get somewhere and like there's all these steps is really important. Because I was just thinking about this earlier, if you still believe in time, and that it's going to take time to do something, take steps, or you're still waiting, or why isn't this happening yet? If you just embody, it's already happening, and then you embody that frequency and the feeling of it already happening, living in the wish fulfilled, close your eyes and like feel it. You're already awake in the dream. So imagine, just like we do in the guided meditations, when you're laying there tonight, imagine what you would do, and then breathe and command that you are awake in the dream. Like, be commanding. It's very superpower mode, both in the waking dream, just being, yeah, and in the night, like, it's very, like, you can't be wavery. You've got to realize who you are and how powerful you are, and so you speak powerfully. And that spoken command creates the reality. Excuse me, it always has, always will. Okay. I find it amazing, Phoenix, that you're here with me. And I'm on my 3-day of the raw light body with Phoenix and the crew. And let's just end it on that. Like, so doing eating light, like realizing everything you're eating is light. It always has been, always will. It's frequential. The definitions, like losing the definitions, letting them go bye-bye for a while so that you can allow your whole brain to reactivate and not like fire and wire off a definition like, oh, it's this and this is bad or this is good or this is heavy. But doing things like juicing and fasting can help you easily let that mind stuff go, like naturally. Okay. So doing fasting, juicing, eating things that are alive and full of light or that have just recently, been picked. And loving on it, right? Like speaking light and love into everything you are going to ingest. Realizing that your inhale is a frequential intake of information. It's a download, and your exhale is a reality projection, particleizing everything in front of you. It's a builder. All these things like these are so powerful to help you realize that your out-of-body work has actually been all about getting you in the light body and activating the light body. That too, lightening up, laughing, not taking things so seriously. Like I said, this is so malleable and fleeting. And I love what you're sharing, like simplifying, having more fun. Like, this is it. You're here. You're having more fun. I was like, oh, I need to get this done and I gotta get this. And I just started laughing at myself, like, you've already done it. Like, slow down, enjoy it, right? Enjoy the process. Drinking in the sun, breathing with the sun, that is you. One fun thing, and then I'm probably gonna end because I have a call, but one fun thing is that some people will wear like cloaks when they're out of body, and you can ask them like, why are you wearing a cloak? And they're like, well, like they'll open their coat, and then like they are the light. So, if you get out of body and you realize like it's so bright, like there's no darkness, it's just super bright all the time, you'll know that you're out of body. Okay. I love you. Have an amazing rest of your day, and we will see you in the dream. Here's to dreaming with you right now.